As we studied the various life processes, we realized that human body is like a manufacturing unit or a factory, a very complex and an extremely efficient factory where certain inputs are provided and output in form of energy or other bodybuilding material is made. But no matter how efficient the factory is, there are always some waste produced. Like in factories, in our bodies too, we cannot allow these waste to accumulate. They have to be removed periodically. How do we do that? By an extensive system of organs known as excretory system. So our learning goals for today are to understand these things: define excretion, organs of human excretory system, formation of urine, what is artificial kidney, and how does excretion occurs in plants. Before we move ahead, let's understand what is excretion. Removal of chemical waste produced as a result of metabolic process within cells. Why is it important? If allowed to accumulate, the waste will turn toxic. So excretion is very important. How is it done? We'll discuss this later. But before that, one very important clarification. You studied digestion. The end of digestion was egestion. There too, undigested waste was being removed from our body through anus. So, is egestion also a part of digestion? Now, let's go back to what is excretion. It clearly says that waste should be the result of metabolic process within cells. But the food material that is ingested is one which is not digested, and so it never enters the cell. It is not absorbed. So egestion is not excretion. Now, is CO2 released during respiration a part of excretion? Try to find out based on this very logic that we used for egestion, and let me know in comments. Now, one last point, excretion is mainly for removal of nitrogenous waste. The nitrogenous waste is formed as a result of our metabolic process. Now, this is how unicellular organisms remove their waste. The main process is the diffusion. Excretion in humans is performed through a excretory system, which is made of a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder, and a urethra. Kidneys are in the abdomen, one on either side. A ureter comes out of each kidney. The ureter ends in a common urinary bladder. From the bladder comes out urethra. Now, the kidneys filter our blood and produce urine. Ureter transfers urine made by kidney to urinary bladder. Urinary bladder stores urine. This is elastic and is made of muscles. So it is controlled by nervous system. Now, what do you think? Which type of muscles would be present in the walls of urinary bladder? Voluntary or involuntary? Think over it and let me know. Now, bladder has a capacity of 400 to 700 cc and it stretches as urine fills into it. A pressure builds up and finally the urine passes out of our body through urethra. So how does the excretory system work? How does it makes urine? But before that, what is urine? Urine is formed by filtration of blood. It contains nitrogenous waste in form of urea or uric acid. Its filtration is done in kidneys. Inside the kidneys, the parts which filter blood are known as nephron. So nephron is known as the functional unit of kidney. Now, if you recall, in lungs where carbon dioxide was removed, alveoli were present, which were very small structures with a very thin layer. In intestine where food was absorbed, villi were present, Again, very thin structure. So wherever exchange is to take place, the layer should be very thin. Here also, inside the kidney, there are very small structures known as nephrons. Nephrons are the functional unit of kidney. They are the site where filtration takes place. Now look at the inside of a kidney. You can see the blood vessels, again in blue and red color. These vessels bring blood into the kidneys. They then divide into very thin-walled capillaries. Each of these capillaries enters a cup-like structure. This cup-like structure is known as Bowman's capsule. The capillaries enter with the blood in this cup. The blood gets filtered, and then another set of capillaries takes the filtered blood and goes out of kidneys. So you can see this very well here. The blue colored blood vessels entering and the red ones leaving. And this entire unit with the Bowman's capsule and the network of capillaries inside the Bowman's capsule is known as glomerulus. Now what happens to the filtrate? The filtrate is formed due to a special type of filtration known as ultrafiltration. But this is not urine yet. It has urea, but it also has many useful substances such as glucose, amino acids, salts, and a lot of water. Body does not want to waste all of this. So what does it do? It performs the next step of urine formation, that is reabsorption. It reabsorbs the water and other useful materials back into the blood. How much water will be reabsorbed depends on how thirsty you are, meaning how much water is already there in your body. Then a final check is done. Anything not needed is once again secreted back into urine. Now, why is this reabsorption important? The initial filtrate formed after filtration is 180 liter, but the actual urine released is just 1 to 2 liters. So you can imagine how much of water is reabsorbed. Now, where does all this reabsorption and secretion takes place? You can see the tubular part of nephron coming out of the Bowman's capsule. This is surrounded by a network of capillaries. These two together exchange the material, removing what is not required, and whatever is required is reabsorbed from the tubular part of nephron, and this goes back into the capillaries. Finally, the urine goes into the collecting duct. Collecting ducts of all nephrons merge and deliver the urine into the urethra. Now you just saw how the kidneys work to remove waste from our body. What if our kidneys fail to work? But before that, what would make it not work? The reason could be an infection, any injury or reduced blood supply to kidney leading to impaired or lower activity. This is known as kidney failure. If one of the two kidneys fail, not much of a problem. Body can still function normally. But if both kidneys fail to work, then the person needs treatment. The final stage treatment available is hemodialysis or artificial kidney. This is based on the principle of diffusion. We want to remove nitrogenous waste, urea, from the blood. So we take a dialyzing fluid which is same in concentration as our blood, that is same osmotic concentration, but with one difference. It doesn't contain the nitrogenous waste. Now this dialyzing fluid is taken and circulated in a chamber. This chamber contains many tubes which are made of selectively permeable membrane, shown in this image in red color. Now what do these tubes contain? These tubes contain the patient's blood. They are connected to the patient's blood vessels and they bring the patient's blood into this chamber. This chamber already contains the dialyzing fluid circulating in it. Now, since the concentration of urea inside the tubes, that is in the blood, is very high, while in the outside, in the yellow region, is very low, a concentration gradient builds up. Due to this concentration gradient, urea moves from blood to the dialysing fluid. This dialysing fluid is then removed and the blood is transported back into the patient's body. Now, how does excretion occurs in plant? Before that, what waste are produced in plants? The first waste is oxygen, which is a byproduct of photosynthesis. You already know how it is used. Excess water is removed by transpiration. Then there are other waste which plants just deposit in its dead cells. You have studied last year, many of plant cells are dead. Sclerenchyma, some of xylem phloem, they do not participate in plants' metabolism. So plants very smartly deposit their waste in these dead cells as resins and gums. It also sheds its leaves intermittently, so some waste is transported to these old leaves and is removed along with the dead leaves. Finally, some waste are released into the soil by the roots. With this, we come to the end of our topic for today and also the end of the lesson, life process. We did manage to complete the topics nutrition, respiration, transport and excretion. Now very soon we'll be meeting again with the next lesson. Till then, you need to keep revisiting and revising, and here are your retrieval questions for this topic. Take care. Bye-bye.